Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tales from the Fandom, the podcast that brings a special guest out of the multiverse and straight to you. Today's episode is brought to you by In the Reads. In the Reads provides beautiful, affordable artwork of the vibrant worlds found within your favorite books, TV, and films. From all wood bookmarks featuring illustrations and quotes from such fandoms as Star Wars, The Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, Outlanders, and more, to fantasy and real-life maps drawn in the style of Tolkien. Go to inthereads.com and check out what is available. Like something? Use code TALES10 at checkout to get 10% off your order. A link will be in the show notes along with the code. And now, let's get to the episode. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special episode of Tales from the Fandom. It is the month of August, because that's how life works. We're actually recording in May, but Kris is joining me. You might have heard Kris back on her original episode a few years ago, or on the 15th anniversary of the Avatar: The Last Airbender special, which is currently sitting at like number 5 most downloaded of all time in my podcast history. Kris, how are you doing?
I am great. I'm caffeinated. Let's
are.
start off with that. I'm caffeinated.
Not only are you caffeinated, just FYI, because I totally missed out on saying that, you can find Kris on Instagram under Cafe.Contessa. There's a period between Cafe and Contessa. But, hit the link in the show notes and you'll get to see her Instagram page of all the cool stuff that she does.
Cool. Okay, sure.
Okay. Let's see here. You do great cosplays, so therefore you do cool stuff.
I'm waiting for the day that I evolve into like a cat mom Instagram.
Okay.
That's my goal 10 years down the line when I retire cosplay.
So when you retire cosplay, you'll go from cosplayer to Taylor Swift cat mom.
Yes, and I already have a great track record of slowly starting it. I don't think anyone who follows me has noticed yet.
I've been trying to pick up and pay attention on stuff. I think. Wait, is there a cat in your beach? No, that's a dog. That's the dog in your beach picture right there. Okay.
I do have a cat though. He's my son.
Okay, I don't see the cat on the Instagram just yet, so I'm like, okay.
I'm gonna rectify that as soon as we finish recording. Let me tell you.
Well, I have something to tell you before we jump into our main topic tonight, and I didn't tell you before we started recording, and I'd only told, I think, my wife before we got started, is that this episode that we're recording that comes out in August, which you're listening to in August, so hey, everybody, you're in August now.
They're in the future.
They're in the future. We're totally in the past. But this episode is number 400 for my podcast.
No freaking way. No way.
Absolutely. It is 100% number 400. I know it doesn't say so on the numbering in the podcast thing, because I do a lot of like movie reviews or TV show things where I don't number them. But this is number 400.
No way. I am so honored. I'm so hella honored.
There's a number of guests that I would have been happy with for number 400, and you were definitely one, a top person of. I'm happy to have this one be number 400.
Oh, thank you. I'm always happy to come back on the show. I hope you know that.
Well, you are a number 1 supporter from what you tell me, because you have shirts and you have coffee mugs with the Tales from the Fandom logo. You can buy it at tpublic.com. But I will say, for people that are listening, if you're going to buy it on sale, because that's the best way to do things.
Yeah. My tank tops, though, my Tales from the Fandom tank tops are like my favorite things to wear, especially like in the Florida heat, because... yeah. And, I always love repping the fandom.
Let's just talk about the Florida heat for a second, because I posted on Twitter just today, which, again, you're listening to this in August. This is May. We're like May 19th today. It is
90 degrees.
It's like 9:30 at night that we're doing this, and the temperature I saw was like 87, 88 degrees, which for those that are not in the United States, that works out to be 30.5 degrees Celsius. It's hot.
It is hot. And when it rains, it's humid and gross.
And even when it doesn't rain, it's still humid.
It's still humid and gross, yes.
I just constantly ask myself, like, why am I still in Florida? I'm an adult. Why can't I just, like, leave?
Let me tell you, I work in a hospital, right? And it's an ever-growing hospital. If you live in Florida, it's one of the big ones, whatever. Anyway, they're of course ever-growing, so they're taking away the parking lot that I use, which is already far enough from the building I go to. So they can build another building on there. It's like, and they're starting now. And I was like, you couldn't have started this in the fall when it's not feeling like Satan's butthole outside?
No. There was a hospital that I worked at here for a little bit, and you'd have to park in the parking deck and then get like a shuttle that takes you to like different areas around the hospital campus, essentially.
Of course.
To drop you off. It's like, what? Just mind-boggling.
Yeah, and at that point, I feel like I'll get there sooner than the shuttle will take me.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'll be sweaty. So then It's like, at what cost? At what cost?
Indeed. Now, we're not here to talk about Florida
or
heat,
no.
or I mean, we eventually will be here to talk about cats, but that's a whole nother thing and a whole nother episode. In the future.
Mm-hmm.
You said 10 years, so hopefully I'm still kicking around the podcast 10 years from now. But you came back for an Avatar: The Last Airbender anniversary episode, 15 years.
I did.
And now you're here again for another anniversary episode, because this year is the 35th anniversary of the Final Fantasy franchise.
Yay! Victory fanfare!
And I just did the hand movements, just FYI. Like, you can't see it, but know that I just raised my arms up and down while I was doing that.
As you should. As I should. Now, I was around for the original Final Fantasy way back on the Nintendo Entertainment System. It was one of my first video games that I ever purchased with I believe my own money at the time. Nice.
So I've been in and out of the franchise since it originally came to the United States. And I think I know we talked about Final Fantasy on your original episode when you started, but let's take a walk down memory lane of Kris and Final Fantasy, like, because I haven't listened to our original episode in a while. What was your first Final Fantasy game?
Let me tell you. People listening to this are going to be really mad at me. My first experience, let's go with that. My first experience with Final Fantasy was actually through Kingdom Hearts.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yes, the Final Fantasy Disney mashup that is Kingdom Hearts.
Mm-hmm. I was not into gaming. I think I started gaming gaming seriously when I was in middle school. And the first one I took seriously was Kingdom Hearts, because my cousin baited me into it, saying, "Oh, you'll like this because it has Disney in it." And I said, "All right, bet, let's go." And of course, the first human characters you meet outside of the main Kingdom Hearts characters, are Squall Leonhart from Final Fantasy VIII and Aerith Gainsborough from 7. So, and of course Yuffie. So that was my first ever experience with it. And when I asked about it, it was like, oh, that's a different franchise.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, the first Final Fantasy game that I played was, like, full through, was definitely 15. Like, I dabbled in the other ones, like 6 and 7, but, like, 15 was, like, the first one that I was, like, really into. Because, like, I hit it at that height, that, like, when that first came out, like, I was there for it.
Now, 15, like, I remember when 15 came out, there was a lot of, I don't know if I want to say, like, controversy, but it is definitely, like, the thing that I remember hearing about, and I know I did a whole Final Fantasy episode, like, almost when it came out, like, not 30 years ago, like, 5 years ago, like, as it was approaching the 30th anniversary, was, that it was more of like a bro road trip.
Mm-hmm.
Like, game versus like a Final Fantasy game.
Right. Well, like literally the first thing you do when you open up that game is push your car out of the desert. It's like, bruh, I don't even maintain my own car. Now I have to maintain yours. But you said you wouldn't call it a controversy. I would call it a controversy because it didn't start out that way. It started out as what they called Versus 13, and I thought that was a cool game. So I was like really shocked when it didn't stay that way.
Yeah, they were doing so many different things like around that time period because like there's 13 and then there's like the stuff that they're doing with 13, like they had like 4 or 5 different projects all attached to it, plus like the online MMORPG that they were doing,
plus they wanted the 7 remake to come out in time for, I think, what was it, the 20th anniversary of 7?
I don't remember because I remember seeing the tech demo way back there. Like, oh, look at what this what was it, the PlayStation 3 or maybe even the PlayStation 4?
I think it was the 4.
Like, let us show you what we can do with this, and everyone's all like, Final Fantasy 7 is going to be re-released, and then here we are, like what? In 2020 it got released. 2021.
Yeah, I know that they bypassed the landing on that one. Like that didn't land exactly the year that they wanted it to. But that was definitely one of those things that they were working on side by side to like 15 as well as the other projects. So I was like, I'm not surprised that these things overshot their landing.
Yeah, not only that, but then they had to like retool whatever like what 15 became, and then they canceled other projects and were like, you know what, we're not going to do that anymore. We're not going to do this anymore.
Yeah, we definitely need a little bit more focus in the Final Fantasy development area, but what do I know about video game development?
I don't know. I don't think you know much, but that's just
I know I don't know much. Let's be honest now.
I mean, you're not tapped into the secrets of the developers over at Square Enix.
Wait, are you?
I'm not. Like, I don't know what's going on.
I was about to say, because if you knew like something inside, this is going to be something we're going to talk about after we like shut off the recording. Like, you and me have some words.
Heck no. The only thing I know is like when I was over in Japan, I like was at the window of the video game stores watching the trailer for, oh gosh, what was it? 12? When 12 was just coming out when I was over in Japan, and I was like, oh wow, this looks so cool, and I get to hear it in Japanese, and it's so neat. And then I came back to the States and got it, and I was like, I don't really like the way that they do this game, Final Fantasy 12. I guess I'll play it for a little bit. I never finished it.
What is 12 released on?
That was PlayStation 3.
Oh, so that was a PlayStation game. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought so, but I wasn't sure. Because here, you want to hear some big dumb energy? Some big dumb energy coming from Kris. I completely like didn't really know about 11, 12, or 14. Like I went from 10 to 13 to 15 because I didn't even know about the MMO ones or like 12. But then again, it doesn't sound like 12 was very popular, I guess, especially not as much as 13 was when it came out. So
it wasn't like I don't know if people just didn't like how they did like the combat, because you'd assign them different things, like is like licenses that you picked up throughout the game of like, oh, when somebody gets below 50% hit points, it's like triggers healing and stuff. But they redid it, I think. It wasn't like a remaster, but they redid some of the stuff within the game, and it became a better game from what I've been told. But I don't know. I'm a classic Final Fantasy person to the point where like I haven't played 15. I don't think I'll ever play 15. The other thing is I don't have time anymore for like sinking, because I sank 80 to 100 hours into Final Fantasy X, and that was in my college and post-college days.
I see. No, yeah, my coworker is trying to get me to play the 7 remake, and it's like I don't even have time for that. But he's like, I'm gonna lend it to you just so you have it. So if you ever get tempted, you can play it. And it's like, bro, I don't know if I have time for that, but okay, I
And
feel you.
let's talk about the 7 remake for a moment, because I have friends, I have Twitch streamer friends that love 7, right?
Hmm.
They're like all in. They played all the separate releases that came out for 7, because there's
Right?
like a million of them.
Of course.
Um so they played Final Fantasy 7 remake, right? And they're like, "Oh yeah, this is awesome." And then the problem is that it just ends, and you know that there's so much more that they have to do. How long is this game going to be to like release the entire game? Like, are we going to be spending the next 10 to 15 years getting releases of Final Fantasy 7?
You know what? I wouldn't put it past them because it's like 7 is the biggest game of the Final Fantasy franchise. You know that it's the biggest moneymaker, it's the most iconic. So if they're gonna stretch it out and milk that cow, why not, I suppose. Like, yeah,
I
it
hope that
sucks, but like
cow
from a
lasts a long
business.
way.
Well, that cow's been going on for several years now, so I don't see it going out anytime soon.
Exactly. That is definitely the truth. So, back to Final Fantasy. So your first one was 15.
First one
Um,
officially, I was definitely
first,
15.
officially 15. What was it that hooked you? The transition from the Kingdom Hearts characters. You dabbled a few, in a few Final Fantasies, but you said you got into it with 15. What was it about that game that was like, I'm going to become a Final Fantasy convert?
Well, it wasn't even the game itself. It was the prequel movie. Let me tell you. The prequel movie Kingsglaive. So it like tells the story of like what happens before Noctis does the road trip to Altissia. Um, so it has like Nix Ulrich is the main character, and like I don't even know how to describe the story, but it's like the fall of Lucis basically. And um I loved that movie, but what I loved, like what drew me to the movie itself, was Luna Freya, the main female protagonist. In the movie is voiced by Lena Headey,
Okay.
and um, the King Regis is voiced by Sean Bean. And this movie came out. You see where I'm going with this, right? You see where
Mm-hmm.
I'm going. This
I
movie came
gotcha.
out during the height of Game of Thrones. And of course, I was part of that fandom. So, like, I was like, I love Lena Headey. I love Sean Bean. When you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die. Like, I'm watching this movie. And I loved it. And I was like, I love this movie. What's the game about? So I picked up the game and I started playing it in college. Back when I also had time to play video games.
Yep. Now I've heard. Now tell me if I'm wrong. Do you need to watch the movie before you play the game?
No, of course not. It's good backstory. It's a great standalone movie, but I don't think you need to watch it to play the game, to be honest.
Okay. I had heard from a few people. They were like, "Yeah, it really helps a lot to like understand what's going on. You really shouldn't play the game without watching the movie." And I'm like, that's a really great like marketing thing of watch the movie and then you get to play the game. Like that
Hmm.
like that's sneaky. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, it definitely gives you some insight, but I wouldn't say necessary. Like, if you only wanted to choose one, the movie or the game, like, you can pick one and just be at that. That's my personal opinion, though. But I
Okay.
like backstory, so I would have done both, which I did.
I love backstory too. It's one of the things that I love about I think it's one of the things I love, not just in like fandom in general, but Final Fantasy does such a great job with building the world, the lore, the characters, the story arc, the character arcs that you have in the various games.
Hmm.
It's just, it's one of those games where
Where it's deeper
I,
than you like expect it to be, is
yeah,
how I would describe
exactly.
it.
Yeah, because there's things where it's just like I remember Final Fantasy IV, which is my favorite of all time for video games. And I fully admit like I have like nostalgia glasses when it comes to that video game
Hmm.
because it I played it as a kid and I played it like during sleepovers and stuff like that. But I mean that was a game that had like twists and turns that I'd never seen before in a video game. And I'm like, holy cow, like it's throwing me off guard, or oh my gosh, this character has came back and just saved us all. And it's just incredibly wonderful, and it has stuck with me that whole time.
Yeah, I definitely feel the same. Um, 15 may have been my first, but 6 is definitely my favorite. And it's just like the story's great, but like the character of Tara, the main character, like her character is just so great and the storyline is just so great that it just it sticks with me. Like I see a lot of myself in her as well. So it's just Final Fantasy. I think the reason it's lasted this long, the reason it's 35 years old this year is just cuz like there's something for everybody. And then like you said, they do a really good job at story and character building. If it's not the story, it's the character.
Hmm.
You can argue that certain games don't have the best storyline in Final Fantasy, but you can definitely like at least relate slightly to some of the characters.
Oh, 100%. Definitely a character for everyone, especially with the the cast of characters in every game. It's like a boy band. You get to pick out like who you relate to, and you're like, yeah, you know what, that
Like that's
character
my
is my
person.
character.
Hmm. I have been recently playing a lot of Dissidia NT. So like for those who don't know, Dissidia is the um side video games, I guess, where all of the characters, at least one main character from each of the Final Fantasies gets together and fights one of the villains from each of them as well. And it's like I always thought that was such a super cool concept. And like the first one was on PSP and
Hmm.
it only featured from Final Fantasies 1 to 10. And then the next ones came out and it was like 1 to 13 was the second one and then the last one NT has 1 to 15. So one character from each of the Final Fantasies. And you don't really see what the characters look like in any of the Final Fantasies 1 through 6 on like on the normal games because
Hmm.
like they're the retro ones, they're all pixelated and whatnot. So when you see them come to life in Dissidia, it's like the coolest thing. It's like if you related to them before, you probably relate to them a lot more now because you actually like see what they look like. You see a little bit more of their personality because they're more isolated now. So Dissidia is such a cool game. Like I know some people hate it, but it's like if Final Fantasy had its own Smash Brothers world, that's what it would be. That's essentially what it is.
So what drew you to the Dissidia games? Was it just the characters that you got to like see and like experience one on one, or is it the game style itself?
I mean, a little bit of both. I've always been a Smash Brothers kind of fan, so like the fighting part, the fighting gaming is of course fun for me, and because I don't have time to play the real Final Fantasies where you get into the storyline and you get into the character development and whatnot, like I don't have time to appreciate a story, essentially. So in Dissidia, like, there's not much story. There's like a basic storyline, and of course the cutscenes are cool to watch, but it's like I don't have to think about it when I play it.
Right.
So like that's one of the things that drew me to it, but I also really love I guess crossovers. So like to see my favorite character Terra fight alongside other characters like Cloud Strife or Squall Leonhard or like even Noctis. It's like I thought that was like the coolest thing to see like Sephiroth fight someone who wasn't Cloud, or to like see Kefka like become what my sleep paralysis demon probably looks like. Like, yeah, I love Dissidia. Like, I know it was I know when NT came out, NT's the third one.
Okay.
That one's playable on PC and PS4. I know when that one came out, it was very 50-50. You either liked it or you didn't. And I liked it because, like I said, I really like crossover stuff.
Yeah,
And
I'm looking at the list now. I'm like, oh, I see some names that I recognize, and then of course I also see a whole bunch of like Final Fantasies where I'm like, I don't know who any of these people are.
right, like I said, like I said, you can't really see any of the characters from like 1 to 6 the way that they like would look like in life. So
Mm-hmm.
when you see them in Dissidia, like it's like night and day what Final Fantasy 1 looks like versus 15.
Mm-hmm.
Because like 1 through 6, you had like the armor and like the bright colors and like fancy things, and then you get to like 15 or like even 7 and it's more like the dark emo.
Yep.
So it's like you like basically see the evolution of the series, of the franchise, through like these characters, and the fact that they're all integrated and working together, and then they're fighting villains that aren't even their villains. It's like, I think it's like super cool.
Who do you like to play out of like all these characters?
You know I gotta go for my girl Terra. And
That's
Terra
what I
has
thought.
long and short range attacks. On NT, Tifa's my second favorite character. Terra's my first, Tifa's my second. Just out of the whole franchise. She is only available through like a DLC.
Okay.
So of course I bought her. But she only has short range attacks. And that's where I struggled. Because it's like by the time I got close enough to like hit somebody, they were hitting me first. So it was like a struggle to go from Terra to Tifa, but you know, we're working on it. But I also really like playing as Noctis because Noctis, his movements aren't that different from his movements in the actual 15 game. So it was like riding a bike again, like getting back on a bike. It's just, it came back to me.
Okay, I gotcha. I've like I remember when the first Dissidia came out. Like it wasn't something I played, but I remember it coming out. I didn't realize that there's more for this franchise out of Final Fantasy.
Yeah, because of course, like Noctis, or not Noctis, Lightning for Final Fantasy 13 was like super huge when that came out. So of course, like they had to add Lightning to the roster once, like once a new Dissidia came out.
Mm-hmm.
So Duodecim is the second one, and that one features the original 10 plus one character from 11, one from 12, and one from 13. 13 obviously being Lightning. And they also added like other side characters, like that's where you get Tifa. Yuna came in on Duodecim, Laguna from 8, and Kane from 4, I believe. Like we're all
Mm-hmm.
new additions as well.
Gotcha.
So like you can kind of also tell like who the developers' favorite characters are. I think there was who was it? I forgot. One of the character designers, one of the big ones. I forgot which one it was. His favorite character is Terra as well. So like she has like the most original drawing. She has the most like different designs. And when the first Dissidia came out, she was the only female to represent anyone on the cosmos or the good side. And he said it had to be her. It couldn't be anybody else. And I was like,
Yeah.
I respect that.
I was gonna break out into song, and it had to be you, but I was gonna say like it had to be her. But I will not break into song and do that.
Maybe for that secret episode that you and I are planning in the future, we'll break out into song.
It will be a musical episode only. We'll have to like really plan that out. That would be something.
I know, right? I'm already looking forward to it. But speaking of music and song, can we talk about the soundtracks for some of these games?
You mean the things that I absolutely love the most and have a hard drive somewhere of like every CD I could get my hands on when I lived in Japan to burn them?
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. I still really want to go to a Distant World concert.
There's one coming up here in Orlando.
When is that?
Oh my gosh, here. See, I'm gonna look it up right now. While we're talking about that, let's just talk about how in Japan you can rent CDs and they totally know that you're gonna burn them. So it's wonderful to go there and rent like all the Japanese music that you want. And one of the things I did was like every Final Fantasy music CD that they had in their shop is I picked it up, burned it, returned it, and I do have like the music is just beautiful.
Absolutely. Like,
meanwhile, I'm pulling my stuff up.
I really do want to go to a Distant World concert because the music is just so amazing. Sometimes I'll put it on in the background just to like focus more.
Mm-hmm.
And like it definitely hyper focuses me on like my task at hand. Even like at work, I'm listening to like I could be listening to Final Fantasy and somehow it makes me focus better until I hit a song that hits me in the feels, and then it's like I have to stop and listen to it. Like out of respect, I have to just stop and appreciate this song for just a moment, and then I'll go back to my work.
Now, which songs, out of curiosity, like, is there one or two that you can point to and be like, that's the song right there?
Oh, for sure. Like both Tifa and Aerith's themes, those are beautiful, especially on piano. To Xanarkand from 10 is beautiful. Terra's theme is like one that just makes me like miss her so much more. And then like even Sephiroth's theme, like when I listen to it, it's like, yeah, I don't want to be working right now. I wanna play a Final Fantasy game. Doesn't matter which one. It doesn't even have to be 7. Just give me something. I just don't want to be here anymore. I just want to listen to this music and appreciate the series.
It's one of those things where, and I always like to point it out whenever like talking about TV shows or movies or whatnot. Like if you have a really good soundtrack, like it will stick with you and it will stick with a listener even longer than maybe the movie or the movie dialogue
Oh,
does.
for sure.
And one of the things, and one of the cool things I love, not only is there like the Final Fantasy music, and then you have like the piano collections, and you have like the different things, but then you have like people doing like all sorts of just different remixes to the songs, like making them like jazz sounding, or like just
or adding lyrics to them, like the Promise from Final Fantasy 13, like. It's an iconic tune for 13, for sure, but I had no idea that there's actually lyrics to that one.
I did not know, but I don't think I've ever played 13, unfortunately.
I mean, I didn't play 13 enough to know it, like, well. I know a lot about it from, like, cutscenes and from, like, additional info, but I've never actually played it all the way through. But I know that song. Like, so that's like your point being... like where sometimes the music will just stick with you more than the actual piece itself. And that's like one of those things where it's like I don't know much about 13, but I know that like I know the theme song of it, so when it comes up I know, oh, that's Final Fantasy 13, and it's a really cute song. I think it's called The Promise. I haven't heard it with the lyrics, but I know that they have lyrics for that song. But like I've heard it just as its instrumental arrangement. It's pretty good.
I will have to take a listen. It's one of those, the soundtracks to the Final Fantasy series are ones where even if I haven't played the games, I know that the music itself will be good regardless of if I've played the games or know what's going on, because they're just good pieces to listen to.
And then like I love when a character has their own theme.
Yes.
And then like you get to a part where like that character, that character has like an important part in that one scene once their theme comes up.
I love when they take like they have that character's theme and then they integrate it into different pieces like later on, and you might get just like a few notes, but it's like those notes that are like, oh, they're calling back to this character in
Yes.
like the larger scheme of things. And it's like, dang, like this is, that's like one thing about like music composing and music in general is just like you can tell a story without having to actually have a
Hmm.
story going on. It's just, musical cues. Wonderful.
And so I need to stop losing my thoughts. Oh my god. You're gonna have a fun time editing this episode, David.
Editing, what's that? I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, true, true, true. Oh no,
We,
I have to be more
we're all
careful what I
perfect
say.
here. And just as a note while you're collecting your thoughts, Distant Worlds, music from Final Fantasy, will be here in Orlando March 10th and 11th, and they will have a special guest, Susan Calloway, who is a vocalist and apparently is on the Final Fantasy 14 soundtrack of
Ooh.
a vocal performance called Answers. It's the theme of Final Fantasy 14.
Ooh, okay.
So you can get tickets are on sale now, but again, March next year,
March of
2023,
next year.
Orlando.
Okay. I'll have to.
I sent you the link.
Yeah, I saw. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll have to look into that because I definitely want to see that. I know I've missed it a couple times already. Dang, I had a really good thought about the music.
Womp womp womp.
I know, right? Oh, okay, I remember it now.
Okay, go ahead.
So, if you watch a lot of YouTube, like I do, there's this music producer, I suppose, that's pretty well known on YouTube for his productions, and his name's Kurt Hugo Schneider. I'm sure that name rings a bell for some people, but he did a collab, or no, it was actually not Kurt. It was somebody else, but another person on YouTube, Lindsay Sterling. Lindsay Sterling is best known for violin and dancing with violin. She collabed with one of the music producers on YouTube, and they did a Final Fantasy music video slash mashup song.
Okay.
So Lindsay is dressed up as different characters playing violin in different locations. And it's a mashup of a lot of different songs. So it starts with like Aerith's theme, and then it goes into Eyes on You from Final Fantasy VIII, and then it gets intense. It plays One Winged Angel, and then it goes to like Xanarkand. So she's like 4 or 5 different Final Fantasy females playing violin to this like beautiful mashup. Like I highly recommend it on YouTube. Just look up Lindsay Sterling Final Fantasy.
I will look that up, and I will make sure to put it in the show notes for people that are interested in checking it out, because I have not seen that. Like, and I try not to get sucked in because Lindsay Sterling is just like wonderful, and I get down that rabbit hole of, well, let me see what else she's done. Well, let me see.
That's another concert that I really want to see is Lindsay Sterling.
I don't know much about Lindsay Sterling besides YouTube stuff. I don't know. I'd have to Google that.
I'm a pretty big Lindsay Sterling fan. Not gonna lie. So like to see her do Final Fantasy was pretty exciting. So
of course, like anytime your one of your favorite fandoms or franchises gets like some love, you're like, heck yeah, let me see what's going on here. Check it out.
Highly recommend it, especially if you cosplay as well, because she cosplayed like 5 characters in that one music video and played their themes on her violin. Like, dang, you could not ask for more.
Absolutely not. Yeah. Let's see here. It doesn't look like she's got any tour going on for
this year. Yeah.
She's got some stuff in like Oregon, so in Idaho and Washington State. So I don't think she'll be over here anytime soon.
Bummer. Whatever. One day, maybe after I see Distant Worlds.
Now, with Final Fantasy, I know you've cosplayed a number of Final Fantasy characters.
I did.
And I'm just curious, like what was the reasoning behind them? Because I know you did Terra, who you love. I
haven't done her officially. I like I have the cosplay.
Wait a second. I scrolled down on your Instagram
Yeah,
and
I
saw.
tried on the cosplay, so it was like a test, but I didn't do her. I haven't taken her out yet.
Oh my gosh,
I
that
really
is
want to though.
excuses. So
I'm sorry.
you've done Terra, unofficially. You've done Tifa. You've done Garnet. A couple different versions of Garnet. Um, how do you choose? Like, is it just that you're like, I need to go ahead and just start representing like everybody? I know you did 15 characters too. I just scrolled. I think I saw 15 characters
Yeah,
from
I
that.
did Luna. Luna was the first one, the first official Final Fantasy character that I cosplayed.
Yeah. So you got a number of them underneath your belt. So what makes you decide that you're going to be like one character over another character?
I mean, it mostly starts with which game do I like and prefer. So it's like if I had to choose between who would I cosplay from, like 7 or 15, I'm probably going to cosplay from 7 because I prefer that game over 15. And like then it comes down to the character itself. Okay, well, who in that game do I relate to the most that I can kind of resonate with when I dress up as them? So it comes down to like a lot of bigger questions leading down to like the smaller question. And like if you scroll through my feed, you can probably tell like I have a type, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So like I mostly cosplay characters like Garnet, Rinoa, or Tifa because like I resonate more with those characters. And it also comes down to aesthetic. Wearing Luna was extremely difficult. She has a lot of pieces. And I don't know, sometimes I don't feel like I look flattering in that color hair.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you have to, when you cosplay, it's not just like who are you cosplaying, it's also like, are you going to be comfortable cosplaying this person?
Right. Exactly.
Because if you're not going to enjoy being that person, then why are you putting in the time and the money to do it? It's not fun anymore at that point. Now it's just a chore. So, like, I make sure when I pick a character to cosplay, it doesn't have to be Final Fantasy, but like, in general, if I pick a person, then it's gonna be someone that I deeply love,
Mm-hmm.
or at the very least, um, enjoy seeing.
Right. Exactly. I know you got you said you've got a few different versions of like Tifa. Um, you got like different versions of Garnet. Like you got the wedding dress Garnet and like the orange jumpsuit Garnet.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff that everybody like iconic. And of course, there's a photo if people scroll far enough down of you getting stabbed in the back.
Oh
As
yeah,
Aerith.
as Aerith.
Like, what the heck? I guess apparently I never scrolled that far back. I'm like, I'm seeing it for the first time. I'm
Let
like,
me
wow.
tell you, that was so much fun. I wore Aerith. I haven't worn her since. I might bring her back, but I wore Aerith to I think Hallmat 2017, and um I didn't know she would be that popular, I guess, of a character to be stopped because like in conventions people stop you for photos and whatnot, and it's like yeah, she's a popular character, but like she's also kind of like I feel like a lot of people do her.
Yeah.
So like I didn't think I would get stopped as much as I did. But I got stopped by a few Sephiroths. Not just like I've been stabbed a couple times. They would like come up to me and they'd be like, hey Aerith, and I'd be like, oh, hey. And they're like, okay, one person was like, this is a really weird request, but can I kill you? And I was like, yes, please. And I got down on my knees and they stabbed me in the back and we took a picture.
That picture, like, not only is like that picture really cool, right? Like it's got a good look to it, but then your picture like the next picture after is like Aerith walking into like this dreamy like look to it.
I did not plan it that way, let me tell you. I didn't. I was just going through my pictures from that day, and I was just posting whatever looked good. But yeah, I guess you can say that that does look a little planned. That particular picture that you're referring to, though, that Sephiroth was in the middle of her photo shoot, and it was a solo Sephiroth shoot, and that area she was shooting in, we had walked into to get to like a different area, and her photographer saw me and was like, I waved and she waved, and then I was like walking away because, of course, you never want to disturb someone who's in the middle of a photo shoot. But her photographer pulled me back and like, hey, can you join us for this one picture? And I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. So
That's awesome.
it brings people together, and everybody. You can deny it all you want, but everybody loves a tragedy.
Yeah, tragedies make better stories eventually. The drama.
I mean, do you know how many people who cosplay Luna do the underwater death scene? If I could hold my breath.
I don't know about her death.
Oh, spoiler.
Dun dun dun. Again, I probably won't play it, so
Well, yeah, she dies. Like almost every other important Final Fantasy protagonist, female protagonist, she dies. And like her death scene is of course very beautiful, very aesthetic, and a lot of like Luna cosplayers, I wish I was one of them, but I'm not very good at holding my breath long enough to take a graceful picture underwater.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people did the underwater photo shoot of her death scene, and it's like so aesthetic and beautiful. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me.
So speaking of Final Fantasy, I just got to look up something, because I'm curious about it. We have Final Fantasy 14 going on. Are you into 14 at all? Are you playing 14?
No, a lot of people keep trying to get me to play it, but taking away the time frame as a barrier, taking that away, I don't know. I just don't feel like that's something I'm resonating with.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's like you see something and you either like it or you don't, I guess. And it's just one of those things where it's like it does not appeal to me enough for me to want to do it. But when I hear people talk about it, it's like a whole other language. And I don't know, if you ever hear people talk about playing Final Fantasy 14, like to me it's like another language. I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I watch people play it on Twitch, and like it's got a great story. It's got like voice acted, like almost completely. It's all like voice acted with like the storyline going on, and it looks really fun. But at the same time, again, you're sinking like hours and hours and hours,
Yeah.
and hours into this to make sure that you're leveling, plus the story, plus like doing side quests or fishing or crafting.
One of my friends described it as, if you ever wanted to create your own protagonist in a Final Fantasy game, this is the game for you. Like, you're your own protagonist, you're your own hero. You make it yourself. And I don't know, I'm just not a very good make it yourself kind of person, I guess. But yeah, some people like that.
Yeah, and I think that's the cool thing, is that everyone, regardless of like the character that you make, like it's geared towards like the NPCs talking to you as if you're the only one that's doing like the saving of the world, even though you see like hundreds of other people in game, around you. It's amazing that they are able to insert your character, the way that your character looks and acts and everything, as the main character. So everyone's getting that main character story, and that's awesome.
That does sound pretty cool, not gonna lie. But I don't know. I don't know. I just don't think I would put in the hours personally. But I know it sounds like a pretty cool game. I know it's got a lot of good things about it. So I'm not gonna turn people off to playing it. I'm gonna tell them, yeah, go for it. I won't join you, but go for it.
Exactly. Now, 35th for 35th anniversary of this game franchise. By the time this episode comes out, because I'm looking at it right now, there may be like more Final Fantasy news because apparently they released the Final Fantasy 16 like
The
teaser,
trailer, yeah.
and they said it looks like a similar style to
Devil May Cry, yeah.
which is more like action RPG, which is again something like I am classic turn based, so
you and me both, dude.
Yeah, like 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like those are my games, and then after that, it becomes like not so much for me. But then it becomes
like an actual RPG game where you like have to walk around the world and everything.
But then the other thing is that there's apparently supposed to be an announcement of when the second part of remake Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 is supposed to be announced at some point. So they said next month. So that we're saying next month. So that would be
yeah.
So if you're listening to this, you probably already know the details if they've been released. But we're talking about it because it's in May. So
I'm really excited for 16.
What makes you excited for 16? What is it? Because I haven't seen the trailer yet. So I'm curious.
I don't know. It just it looks really interesting. It looks different, but also not. And the main character looks really cool. So here's hoping. I don't know. I think I said the same thing about 15, where it's like it looks so cool in the trailer. The characters look really likable, and then like I was very lukewarm when I played 15. So we could be wrong. When by the time like 16 comes out and we're talking about it, we're gonna think back to this and we're gonna be like, how wrong were we, or maybe how right were we?
That's right. Now I got a curiosity question, and you. I'm going to ask you a question, and you can just tell me, yes or no, or like which ones. But which Final Fantasy games have you finished?
I'm not very good at finishing. I'll tell you that. 6, 15, and half of 9.
That's not finishing.
That's not finishing, but like that's more than I can. That's more than like I give myself credit for sometimes. Okay. Oh, I finished all of the Dissidia games, all 3 of them.
I don't know how I feel about that answer right there with Dissidia, finishing Dissidia games.
I told you don't have to think about it.
I'll take it. It's okay.
And besides, not very like 1 and 2 for Dissidia. You can only play on PSP at this point, so.
Right. Yeah, it's very limited at this point. I was thinking like back to my history. Like I obviously finished 4 because that was my first one, which was 2 way back when I played it. Yeah,
they did 7. Have weird numberings back then, didn't they?
Yeah, because they didn't bring all of them over to the States, so that's why like you have to like flip-flop back and forth with the numbers now.
Yeah, I think 6 was available. 3 at the time.
Yep, 6 was 3. Not sure why I never played that when it came out. I don't know what was going on with me then. But I finished 4. I finished 7. I finished 9. I finished 10. And I finished like Tactics Advanced, but not the original Tactics.
Oh, I totally forgot about Tactics.
And I want to play Tactics because it looks so good, but...
What console is that? Is that PC?
Geez, now? I don't know. I know it used to be like PlayStation, or you could play it on like the PSP or the Vita. I don't know what it's available on right now, though.
Okay. Also, in my defense, I may not have finished a lot of Final Fantasy games, but I finished all of the Kingdom Hearts ones, so...
Join us.
Just so you know where the loyalty lies, okay?
Join us next time while Kris explains the plot.
Excuse me?
Kingdom Hearts.
No. No, sir, no, sir. You can play all those games as many times as you want. You are never going to understand the plot to Kingdom Hearts. I can promise you that. I even read all of the manga. I still don't understand what's going on.
That's where you fall into like the YouTube deep dives of like different things, and then it still doesn't make any sense after hours.
Do you know how
of
many
watching.
attempts at those deep dives I've tried? Failed every single time. Nope. Nope. Kingdom Hearts, though.
Kingdom Hearts.
God
Final
bless.
Fantasy. Bless you for beating the Kingdom Hearts. And now we have with Final Fantasy, they released like the pixel remakes, right, of like 1 through 6 now onto the game or onto the PC. I know that they've made it easier, like you're able to do things a lot quicker and
like gaming,
and stuff.
like the actual gaming is easier to do or like play.
Yes, I think like you can turn up the speed and make it faster, like for like combat. And apparently like I've heard that the games are easier. They've turned down like the difficulty somewhat on them. Is the main thing that I've heard. So people are getting through them a lot quicker. And it's neat that now you can actually go back to these games and be like, "Hey, I'm playing the original Final Fantasies and I can play them it's accessible again."
Right. I think that's what stops a lot of people is the accessibility. If you're not turned off by the retro, because I know some people just aren't into the retro gaming look.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not turned off by that, then you're probably turned off by the accessibility, which, it's completely valid. Like you can't find a way to play it, you're not going to play it. That's fair.
Exactly. Like there's a time where like I really wanted to play Tactics, but either the game was too expensive or I couldn't find a like whatever console it was at the time to like play it on. It's like I'm not going to like sink that into playing it. I'll play it at some point maybe.
And for me, like I didn't even start playing 8 or 9 until they were released on the Switch. So God bless for releasing it on the Switch.
Absolutely, and that's one thing that I love is that like because Final Fantasy started out being a Nintendo like property. It was it was released only on the Nintendo systems, and then once like they were like, oh well, you don't have enough like data capacity to hold what we're going to do with 7. We're going to go with like Sony and their PlayStation, and it's like a huge swath of people missed out because I'm not going to play something on a PlayStation. They didn't go to the PlayStation to play it. And it's like, it's nice that you can now have it on the Switch and play these games that maybe you missed out on.
7 really was a turning point for the franchise. Like, because like, yeah, and it became, not only did it become more accessible, but like just the storyline and the characters, like everybody, most people, I want to say, came in because of 7.
Mm-hmm. 7 is definitely one of those games of, you know what, regardless of if you love it or hate it, like what it did for the franchise, what it did for the PlayStation, what it's done for the future of like Japanese role-playing games, like it has such a monumental influence. Like you can't shake it. Like am I a fan of 7? Not really, because I prefer my Final Fantasy to be more fantasy and not like science fiction-y post-apocalyptic type stuff like
right.
like 7 and 8 are. Like, it's just not for me. But I did play 7, and I did buy a PlayStation to play 7 because it looks so cool, and I kept hearing so many good things about it that I had to play it. And I mean, the breakout scene alone from Shinra where you're like on the motorcycle, like that is amazing, and it was amazing for the time.
And then it's reached a point where it's like now it's iconic. So it's like 20 years down the line, we're on like Final Fantasy 25 at that point. Everyone's still gonna look back at 7. And then it's like one of those things that you like put in a history museum. Like what made you? Like what was your spot in history? And it's like 7 if you were to do one for Square Enix, 7 would probably be one of the big ones there.
Oh, absolutely. It's one of those things where you look at like in the realm of like fandom, and it's like you can point to like very specific things like a TV show or a movie and be like, this is what brought so many people into like this genre or this watching thing. Like Final Fantasy VII is definitely that one for video games or for
Square.
Like, yeah, for Square. Like it's going to be like it's always it's the whole oh, what would you have like on your Mount Rushmore, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Final Fantasy VII would be.
You
on
probably
that
have like
Mount
Cloud
Rushmore.
Strife. Oh my god, the video gaming Mount Rushmore. That would be like Mario, Sonic, Cloud Strife, and one more. We need a fourth one. Zelda, maybe.
Oh gosh, see, and that having two Nintendo properties is difficult because I'm sure like I would be like, well, what about like maybe Master Chief? I'm not a Halo fan,
okay,
but
yeah,
like,
true.
Master Chief would be a serious contender. I'm trying to think real quick about like who
We need
who
a
would be.
Dissidia, but like all of the games, and not all of the Final Fantasies, but like all of the games, like a Smash Bros, but with like everybody. Like I know
Well,
Cloud and Sephiroth are also in Smash Bros now, but I mean like, what if I want to fight Master Chief as Mario? What if I want to be Sephiroth and fight Master Chief? Huh?
I don't know if that will ever happen, but there is a game coming out called Multiverses where it's like all like DC Warner Brothers stuff. So it's like Iron Giant, Superman, Scooby Doo,
Dang.
Steven Universe. Like it's got all sorts of like characters from all sorts of properties, and like you look at it, it's you just what is going on? Like Bugs Bunny and Tasmanian Devil versus like.
Dude, I want to be a
Garnet.
Disney princess and fight like the most random character. I want to be a Disney princess and like fight SpongeBob or something.
I don't know what to say to that. Like at least now, I will say, at least now there's actually like Disney princesses, and I use the term princesses very lightly with them,
Mm-hmm.
but at least there's now Disney characters, Disney women animated characters that would be able to hold their own in something like that. Like Belle and Cinderella, not so believable, right? But
but like,
Mulan, Raya, those Moana, like you get into those characters and you're like, yeah, you know what, they can brawl.
Yes. I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Goodness.
You know what? I wish there were more characters in Final Fantasy, like Dissidia, that you could allow to brawl. But that's for another Dissidia game if they ever come out with one.
Well, I saw with Dissidia that they're not supporting like the NT anymore, as a couple of years ago it looks like. So
yeah, because like I said, it was a very 50-50 game when it came out. Like some people liked it, some people didn't. So if it's not that popular when they have all these projects already, they're not going to focus on it. So, but whatever, I still enjoy it.
Well, what's your final, before we start wrapping up? Like, what's your Final Fantasy game that you would go back to? Like, let's say you had time and you're like, okay, I've got time to play Final Fantasy. What's your comfort Final Fantasy?
Oh, 6 for sure. Like, no surprise, it's 6. That opening where they like play Terra's theme and like they're on those mecha tanks and they're like traveling through the blizzard. Once that starts playing, I'm gone. It's like, oof, I'm back. I wish that was more accessible too, because I mostly play that on the SNES.
Well, it is accessible now because they have the Pixel remake on the PC. So
I know, but I don't have like a PC strong enough for that.
What do you mean a PC strong enough? Like, it's pixels.
But still, I feel like, because like my laptop is already like crashing on a normal basis.
What about on the Switch? I know you can get 6 on the Switch.
Wait, you can get 6 on the Switch?
I'm pretty sure.
This is
Let
news to me because the last time I checked, only I think 8, 9, and 10 were available on the Switch.
Hold on, I'm gonna double check right now. Is Final Fantasy VI on the Switch? Oh no, it's not going to the Switch. I could have sworn it was on the Switch,
Yeah,
but
I didn't
I
think
guess
so.
not.
I think it's only 8, 9, and 10.
Yeah, that's what it is. And then the remasters are just on the computer, but not going to the Switch. Well, poop on that.
I know, right? I think they should just move all of like I love 7, don't get me wrong. And yeah, the new stuff for 7 coming out is exciting. But I would love if they could remaster anything before 7.
Well, you know what else is on for speaking of Final Fantasy VI? On the classic SNES that got sold. Like I have it, like that little tiny Super Nintendo that
same
preloaded. Yeah, that has 6 on it.
Yeah, that's where I play it.
Okay, see, yeah, okay, I gotcha. Yeah, I have it. I haven't played it, but I do have it like in a box somewhere. Like that I should play it one day.
You should. But no, what I'm saying is you see now what the characters look like in Dissidia when they're actually rendered to look like people.
Yeah.
I wish they would do that for the actual game itself.
You want remakes of all the games.
Basically, yeah. Well, not I wouldn't say all the games, but anything, any game before 7, just because those were the fantasy games. Like I said, those are the ones with the armor and the colors and the magic and whatnot. So it's even if it wasn't 6, I still want to see 4.
Yeah, I would love to have 4. But the other thing that gets me about 4 is, and it's the art style that Yoshitaka Amano does. It doesn't, the characters don't match up to the way that I see them in their pixelated versions. And it's I
feel like that's for any of them though.
Yeah, like one of my favorite characters from 4 is Rydia. And
Rydia cosplay coming soon, just dropping that.
Yeah. But her Yoshitaka Amano look is not it looks like she should be a 20-something because of just how they've drawn her. And I'm no, but she's a little kid.
Yeah, see, I feel things get lost in translation once they're pixelated. So, I don't know, that's why I really want to see them actually come to life.
Yes, let them come to life. But I will say, if you don't whenever they do the remakes and stuff, and you're you know what, I don't really like that. Guess what? They didn't take away what you liked. It's still there. So, let people like what they like. What was that for?
I don't know. Okay, for the 7 remake, I know they changed some things from the original. I'm just gonna. I don't like it. I'm just gonna say that.
Well, no, I'm just saying the gatekeeper people of this isn't my thing, and it's that no one took your thing away. It still exists.
Yeah. Okay, I get what you're saying.
That's what I'm laying down for people. It's your thing still exists. It hasn't been taken away. No one's making you like the new thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, that's valid. And if you do, also valid.
That's correct. 100%.
See, okay, that's one of those things. I love Final Fantasy, but sometimes I just have to step away from the fandom because the fandom gets so toxic sometimes. So if you're new to the Final Fantasy fandom, just fair warning, don't take everything to heart because it can get heated and you don't need that.
Yeah, and I will say again, I think Final Fantasy VII is one of those draw the lines in the sand with the fandom on it is definitely a video game that does bring out a lot of discussion and a lot of not niceness in the fandom.
Let me tell you, I'm the queen of shipping wars, or at least watching shipping wars go down. We had that whole discussion during the Avatar episode.
Yes, we did.
Don't get into a shipping war. That's the worst thing you could ever do.
Listen, the only shipping that needs to be done in Final Fantasy VII is Tifa and Aerith. Isn't that correct? Like that? Am I not right on that one?
I want to say Zack with anybody, because Zack deserves everything.
I don't know much about Zack. I do know that one of my streamer friends loves Zack so much that that when Zack showed up in a certain video game, she cried so much. Like on stream, she was like crying. And I was like, I'm so happy for her because she loves Zack so much.
I feel like everybody should love Zack so much. Zack's theme, The Price of Freedom, it hits me in the feels every single time. I can't believe I didn't mention that during our music discussion, but The Price of Freedom, whew, it sure is steep. I'll say that.
I'm gonna have to listen to it on
You
YouTube
should.
because I don't think I've heard it. But then again, like I didn't really like know much about Zack until watching people stream like the games that Zack is in, and I'm like, oh, there's like this whole other thing going on.
Zack is a great character. That it's like a shame that he's not in the OG 7 more, but that's because, you know, if you've played Crisis Core, you know why he's not in 7. But
Right.
But that's neither here nor there. All I'm saying is that Zack deserves everything. So if he can be shipped with anybody as long as he's happy, that's all that matters to me. Protect him at all times.
Protect Zack at all times.
Mm-hmm.
The Zack Protection Squad.
Amen.
Now, Kris, with it being 35 years, right? Like, you know, as a franchise goes, it's been around a long time. Same with, you know, heavyweights like Mario and Zelda. You know, these long-standing franchises. Do you think Final Fantasy will hit like the big 5-0? Do you think we'll have another 15 years of Final Fantasy to get to 50?
I think so. I 100% think so. Like, Final Fantasy is like one of those things where it's like it's its own empire. And how do you topple an empire? I mean, sure, they've had some misses. There's like weak links in the lineage, but that didn't stop them. Like 15 wasn't all that great, but a 16 is coming out and people are excited for it. And even if they don't come out with new games, even if like 16 is it, that's it. Let's say no 17, no nothing more. They're still going to, you know, they're still going to do stuff with Final Fantasy, and maybe it's remaking 1 through 6, or maybe it's like adding more side games like Dissidia, or maybe it's adding more characters from Final Fantasy into Kingdom Hearts, and Kingdom Hearts is what they want to go like forward with instead. I don't think Final Fantasy is going away anytime soon. It's its own empire within its own right, just like Mario. Mario will never die. That little Italian plumber is going to be saving princesses and chasing coins until my children are saving princesses and chasing coins. So
absolutely. And I will bring up the joke again that like probably by the time my kids graduate high school, which is, you know, 5 years away at this point, maybe Final Fantasy VII Remake will be halfway done.
Oh my gosh, I don't have kids yet, but if ever the day comes that I do, I can't wait to gatekeep Final Fantasy.
No, you're only allowed to play this Final Fantasy.
It's like, if you speak to me about a lesser Final Fantasy than what I have approved, grounded. No friends over.
They got into that Final Fantasy 19, and I just can't with them right now. Like,
oh my god, no. Dinner table conversation. What do you mean you prefer 19 to 22? Or we're gonna remember we started this like before we started recording. We were like, back in my day, we were talking about our graduations.
Yep.
When like Final Fantasy 25 comes out, we're gonna be like, back in my day, the furthest one out was only 15.
That's right. Oh my gosh! Like I can't even imagine like thinking like let's say like we continue with like technology and stuff like will we get like a virtual reality Final Fantasy?
Yo, I would love that.
Like everyone's going to need to have like a little like treadmill in their house and
Just you
like
wait, just you
Ready
wait.
Player One it.
I'm gonna be dressed up as Aerith doing that, and I'm gonna be like, "Come at me, Sephiroth."
How do you like the taste of my steel chair? Yeah.
Oh my god, I could just thinking about like I said, I don't have kids right now, but like whenever that day comes, I can just picture them like playing what Final Fantasy 20 or something, and they're gonna be like, "Mom, what's your favorite Final Fantasy?" And I'm gonna be like 6, and they're gonna be like, "Ew, a single digit Final Fantasy?" And I'm like, "I brought you into this world. I will
I can
take you out." Exactly.
and I'll take your materia too.
Amen. Like I said, I can't wait to gatekeep Final Fantasy when I have kids. Like
All
you don't
right,
even
Kris.
know. You don't even know the wars that I've been through.
That's right. The shipping wars and the oh gosh, the edition wars, like which edition is best?
DLC wars. Was that DLC worth it?
Oh my goodness. Yes. Yes, you'll have to gatekeep it all the time and be like, "No, you can't play this. It's not good."
I'll start shipping wars with anybody for any reason. So like, I swear to God, if my kids come at me with a shipping war, like the Filipina in me is gonna come out, and I'm gonna take my slipper, and I'm gonna be like, "What'd you say to me? What did you say about Zack and Aerith?"
Oh my goodness. Now, Kris, you said you have some because one of the things that we talked about we mixed it in is cosplaying. You've cosplayed a number of characters, and you made mention that you got some Final Fantasy cosplays on the horizon.
I do indeedy. A friend of mine gifted me a Rydia cosplay, so I'm excited to do that. Of course, Terra is definitely on the short list of ones that I definitely need to do and give a shoot. So, and I'm debating if I want to do Luna Freya again. Like, I have days where it's like, yeah, I definitely want to be her again, but then there are days when I remember what it was like being her the first time, and like I said, that outfit was a lot of pieces and just a lot of work to be in. So it's like it comes and goes. It's like one of those things where I didn't like 15 enough to want to do it again, but I did love the character enough to do it. So, but yes, Rydia, Terra, and I have a few more Tifa versions coming in, which I'm really excited about because Tifa's definitely one of my favorite to do. I'm trying to work out so I can get like the confidence to wear the remake Tifa.
Right. You need to get whatever Natalie Portman did for her transformation to Thor because she's rocking some guns now.
Oof. I gotta get on her workout plan.
Yeah.
But like I have remake Tifa coming up, and
okay.
I recently just purchased the Amano Tifa version from another cosplayer.
Mm-hmm.
Which, for those who don't know, her Amano version is basically her original 7 outfit, but in red.
Okay.
Yeah, so like the top is still white, but like the skirt, the suspenders, the gloves, they're all red. And red is my favorite color. So, and she's one of my favorite characters, so it's like it was meant to be. I had to do it.
That's awesome. I'm excited to see how it looks because I don't think I've ever seen that.
Look it up, dude. She looks amazing.
I'll have to look it up.
Also, another friend of mine wanted to do like a Tifa Aerith photo shoot. So Aerith is coming back to my roster very soon. Very, very soon. Because she called dibs on Tifa. So I'm like, alright, I'm gonna do Aerith for you. I'm already afraid of that wig. That wig is, for fellow Aerith cosplayers, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That wig is killer. It's very top heavy depending on what kind of wig you get. But her outfit is so cute. So, Aerith is coming back to the roster. Flower girl.
I'm always impressed by like the wigs that people do.
Oh, for sure.
Just side note, like I can't imagine like figuring out how to do wigs, but then for like certain characters, like let's say like Aerith or Cloud, of like the the spikiness,
spikes galore,
or the length of like the braid, and like having to have like that plus like the little danglies in the front. It's just impressive.
For like people going into cosplay, my biggest, not my biggest, but like a good piece of advice that I was given when I entered cosplay was that the wig can definitely make or break you.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can have a great cosplay and a bad wig, and that'll be a horrible cosplay. But if you have a bad cosplay and a great wig, that'll definitely save it for sure. And like it's been proven many times, because yeah, I think so.
I can understand that.
Think wisely when you want to do Aerith, if you want to do Aerith as a cosplay, because that wig is gnarly.
It's almost like when I see people do Rapunzel cosplays, I'm like, how do you even like keep your neck straight?
Right?
With that big giant braid in the back, and like Aerith is like not even like a giant braid like that.
It's not, but like the dedication though. Like I said, choose your cosplays wisely, because
exactly.
if you're gonna hate wearing it, you might end up hating that character.
Yeah, and you don't want to hate the characters that you love. Like,
exactly.
You don't want to do that. Don't put yourself through that.
But there's also like you can argue if you love the character enough, you're gonna go through that pain, which is fair.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. Either way, we're covering all the bases at this point. We're like, don't do it if you love them, but do it if you love the pain for the character.
I love how we're just throwing people off, 100%. Just throw them off.
Yep.
Do it anyway. That's my advice. Do it anyway.
Do it anyway. Now, Kris, for people that have listened and they're interested in checking you out, just as a note to people listening, your episode originally was 174 back in 2020. We talked Final Fantasy, Disney, Kingdom Hearts, and cosplay, and then you came back for the Avatar the 15th anniversary special, Avatar: The Last Airbender, not Avatar: The Blue Aliens.
Nope. The better one.
The definitely and arguably the better one. But if people are like, hey, I want to check out Kris, where can they find you?
You can find me exclusively on Instagram at Cafe.Contessa, Cafe.Contessa, Contessa. Cafe.Contessa, because I'm a coffee queen. That's how we become friends.
Yes, coffee is life. I like coffee. I just finished my coffee, sadly, so I have no coffee for the rest of the night. But that's okay. I will exist somehow.
It's okay. It's okay. It's nighttime, which means we're just closer to the daytime when we can have more coffee.
I know. Honestly, I'm looking at the clock and I'm like, oh yeah, in like 7 hours I'll be having coffee again. So
no complaints here. Let me tell you, the hospital I work at just opened a Starbucks in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
It's an official Starbucks. Like it's not a hospital indoor Starbucks. It's a Starbucks in the hospital.
Right.
So that has been a lifesaver middays. Like when that's all you need.
Yeah, it's always a good thing when you're able to get like that injection of like stuff to keep you going throughout the day.
I was so mean this morning. I'm not even kidding. My coworkers were like, "Are you okay?" Because like you're like on edge, and I'm like, "I'm sorry, I didn't eat, and I haven't had coffee, and I've got things to do today." And then I had coffee in the middle of the day, and I was like 100% nicer.
Well, for those of you listening, number one, send coffee gift cards to Kris. She can use them, Starbucks preferred. She'll make use of them.
Oh, 100%.
go click on the link in the show notes to go to her Instagram page and give her a follow. I know how many followers she has, so I'd love to see more followers after this episode comes out. And if you're interested, the links to her 2 previous episodes will also be in the show notes, so you can click on those, take a listen, and get like a more well-rounded picture of Kris beyond Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts-ish. We had a Kingdom Hearts adjacent tonight, but we talked more about Kingdom Hearts previously, so you can definitely get in on the ground floor for that on her previous episode. And if you love Avatar: The Last Airbender,
hit me up for Avatar: The Last Airbender, man. Like, hit me up for that.
That's right. Send messages. Comment
Slide into my DMs with coffee and cat pictures. And Taylor Swift.
Absolutely.
Open your DM, like your message to me with a Taylor Swift lyric. I'd open that so fast.
You definitely know what to give Kris in the DMs. Is any of those 3 things, it would be good. But Kris, thank you for coming back again. It's
Thank you for having me. I'm always happy to come back, but I'm always shocked when you allow me to come back.
Well, I mean, you did 2 episodes with me in 2020, and we didn't do anything last year, so it feels like I need to have you back more. But
I'm always happy to come back more.
Yeah, it's always a good thing to have you back. So, again, follow, like, comment on Kris's stuff. Send her DMs about coffee, cats, Avatar, Taylor Swift, any of that combination of stuff.
And of course, Final Fantasy.
Oh, Final Fantasy. We're still talking about that. Yeah, Final Fantasy. Yeah, come with your Final Fantasy takes. But kindly.
Yes, we don't need the toxicity.
That's right.
And if you want to start a ship war with me, my hands are rated E for everyone.
Catch these hands.
Exactly.
Again, Kris, thank you, for coming to hang out with me again, because I always love it.
Thank you for having me. It's always fun talking to you, David.
Thank you for listening to Tales from the Fandom. Subscribe to us on iTunes or your podcast app of choice. Follow us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/talesfromthefandom to see photos, links, leave feedback, and check out upcoming guests. If you'd like to be a guest, email David at talesfromthefandom@gmail.com.